Hi! This is kind of odd for me. This is the first time I have filmed anything with my face in it. So I want to preface by saying if it's a little bit wonky, it's just because I'm a tad nervous. But I'm excited to make this video as I've wanted to make bookish videos for a while. And with a while, I mean probably years. But I never got around to it and I always got too nervous for it. So I thought, why not start in 2025? You know, why not start? As I've come back to YouTube after years of not posting. But yeah, I'm excited to share stuff with y'all and hopefully share some good recommendations. So today we're going to be talking about sapphic adult rom-coms. These all have spice in it, so if that's not your cup of tea, you can just click off, or you can recommend what else you would like to see, because I do have other sapphic books that I also read that don't have spice. So I could recommend those too if you guys are interested. I want to preface by saying, like, it's been like a year. I've been out as a lesbian for years, but I more recently picked up sapphic literature and sapphic books as I've kind of been reading a lot of what got recommended to me on Book Talk. And don't get me wrong, there's enough sapphic content on Book Talk if you know where to look, but my For You page was mostly filled with straight romances or yeah, just a lot of hetero couples. So it was not until recently, that like a year ago, that I got into sapphic literature. So if any of these seem to be very popular choices, or you don't think this is niche enough, I am sorry. I genuinely just haven't explored a lot. I'm wanting to explore more though. I still want to share my recommendations and the books that I've loved through discovering more sapphic literature, because they make me giggle, kick my feet, and they make me feel represented, and I think everyone deserves to feel that representation and feel themselves on the pages. So I still wanted to share, especially for the ones who, like me, got on the more hetero side of Book Talk. I'm not on there anymore, but I was, so. Okay, so these are all adult romances with spice. And one note before we start, most of my synopsis notes are coming from Storygraph. Make sure to follow me on there if you want. I love seeing what other people are reading. I love stalking Storygraph pages of my friends, but also just of my mutuals on Twitter. It's so fun. And yeah, I recommend you follow me on there if you're interested in what I read on a more regular basis. Although I read a lot of sapphic now on a regular basis, but you know. Okay, the first book I don't have with me, so I'll put somewhere on the screen, I'll put the cover and then the star rating that I gave it. But the first one I wanted to recommend was Make Room for Love. It is described as a steamy, slow burn romance starring a trans woman discovering she's bi by falling for her butch roommate. And they were roommates. The book is not only about that, but it's also just through finding connection with people, and especially between the two main characters, as well as Mira. And they're both going through vastly different issues. Mira is setting up a union at work and is struggling with that and finding her voice within it, whereas Isabel is struggling with grief still. So throughout the book, they share such a emotional bond, such a heartwarming bond, that I really, really liked this book. I will say the two words, I'll try to mention them, like the trigger warnings, but basically the trigger warnings would be mention of past abusive relationship. I will not go into details here in the video, but if you want me to go more into detail, you can comment and I can go more into detail for you. Same with plot things. I'm gonna try to keep it a bit more vague so that you can explore the plot on your own. But if you're more interested, just comment below and I'll explain more. And the second trigger warning that I do want to give is the grieving of a loved one, because that can be triggering for some people. Now onto my thoughts. This was a 4.5-star read for me. I really liked it. I think if you're not a romance fan in general, I think I would recommend this almost to get into the genre if you're curious, because it not only focuses on romance, but like the self-discovery of finding your voice, finding your sexuality, finding back the faith you had in yourself. It's really cool to see. And not only that, but I think the portrayals of the characters is just really well done in a sense that they're communicative. I think a lot of people who are not into romance and are afraid of getting into it are partially afraid because the miscommunication trope can be a very big theme in books, and I don't feel like that was very present here. I feel like they communicate very well and issues are resolved quite quickly. Yes, I was just flipping the page. It was so good. And yeah, it's probably the least quote-unquote popular book that's on there, but I would recommend it, and even more recommend it if you're getting started into romance. I think it's a really great introduction. So that's my first recommendation. By the way, if you see me looking this way, like there, I have a laptop with notes because I was too nervous to go into this without notes. So with this, I also don't have all the books. This is the Bright Falls trilogy, and this consists of Delilah Green, Doesn't Care, which I do have, Astor Parker Doesn't Fail, which is at a friend's house right now, and my personal favorite, Iris Kelly Doesn't Date. All books are incredibly funny, they have a lot of banter, they're hot, they're comforting. And overall, this whole trilogy was a 5-star for me, and Iris Kelly Doesn't Date was probably a 6-star romance for me. It just hit very hard, very fun, and I still go back to thinking about it. I'm also thinking of maybe rereading it soon because I miss it. Yeah, I think that Ashley Herring Blake just overall is a perfect romance author for me. Just how I feel like her books are the definition of a romance comedy, like a rom-com. It genuinely is so good, but it also manages to stay on topic, serious, deal with adult themes, and be very good and heartwarming through that. Okay, first, Delilah Green. So when Delilah Green goes back to her hometown she has avoided for years to photograph her stepsister, Astrid's wedding, she meets Claire Sutherland. And honestly, sparks fly from there. Yeah, it's a book not only about like forced proximity, nice banter, will they, won't they, but also just about learning to take what you want and what you deserve and to be who you want to be. And the banter is so good, which is every Ashley Herring Blake novel has great banter in my opinion, so I would really recommend them. And I don't remember much of it. I did look at the trigger warnings in Storygraph, and they said that there was a 2 words for grief, which I do remember. So yes, just a little warning before you read. I think also a fun little mention is Claire, one of the main characters, has a kid in this, and I was just, oh, the kid's so cute, She genuinely is so cute, and seeing Delilah interact with the kid is even cuter. So if you just like actual adults acting like adults and being very cute, this is for you. And also, I just think that throughout all Ashley Herring Blake novels, the spice is well written. I was not bored one page, I kept flipping. It was very fun. The second one I don't have on me, but it's Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. It's about an interior designer, Astrid, who learns to rebuild her love life from the ground up with 0 blueprints. So Astrid works on a big project together with Jordan, her love interest, and discovers that love might find her unexpectedly after all. I think just in general, Astrid and Jordan both have a lot of grievances they still have to deal with. And I think it's just so well done and so well written. Like, emotionally, this stayed with me for a while, and I recommended it to a friend of mine, and it's at their place right now because of the fact that I think anyone who's interested in reading like an emotional but really good and rom-com-esque book still would really enjoy this. Yes. And they're also kind of rivals within the project they're working on because they don't agree on a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stake for them both within the project. So it's really, there is so many different elements going on that will keep you interested, and it will just keep you reading for hours. I devoured this, as I did with the other books in this series. Now, on to the one I probably devoured the most and the fastest, because it is my favorite out of the 3. I read this first. Ashley Herring Blake, this is a standalone trilogy, so you can read them any order. It does make more sense to read this last, but I didn't. I read this first because my friend got this for me, so I just decided to read it first, and yeah, it's just really, really cute. I loved this. I love this as a mental health girly as well. It was really nice to see. I don't know how to explain that. I will explain it right now. Okay. Once I started this book, I devoured it within like 2 days. That's right, I did devour it within 2 days. Yeah. It is my favorite in the trilogy, mainly because of Stevie and Iris's characters. Yeah, I really loved the main characters, their dynamic, but also just them as people. I really could relate to them. It's really, really fun. Okay, let's get into the book, shall we? It's a fake relationship after a horrible one-night stand is anything but an act. Okay. Iris has let go of feeling worthy of a long-lasting love and meets Stevie at a club, but after a disastrous hookup, they're both glad to be ready for each other, until they meet again at a local play where they get cast as the main leads. And they end up fake dating as well. Which, if you know me, I love fake dating in my romances. I love the pining, I love the will they won't they, I love the is this real or is this fake? I love that. It is genuinely so fun. And I really recommend it if you want like a fun rom-com. This is it. This is it. I give it to you. Okay, I'll leave the rest up to imagination. But not only is this book witty, I also just think it's really good representation for people with anxiety. I think that sometimes mental health can be dealt with in such a unfortunate way. I recently read The Gravity of Us, and that's a young adult's MLM novel. I really didn't enjoy the mental health representation in it, and it really made me appreciate books that do represent it well. It made me really excited just to reread this as well, because I just think it's really well done. yeah, this was a 6-star for me, as I said. And I think about it a lot still. Especially about Stevie's character and how I relate to Stevie. Crazy. The 2 words for this book would be panic attacks and mental illness, because both are explicitly mentioned. I feel like that comes with the territory of writing an anxious character, but yeah, still wanted to mention it. Then lastly, I actually have both books this time that I'm gonna recommend. 2 out of 3 of the trilogy of Written in the Stars. So it's number 1 in a trilogy, which is Written in the Stars. Then you have Hang the Moon, which is about a straight relationship. And then last but not least, you have Count Your Lucky Stars, which is also sapphic. So you have 1 is sapphic, 2 is not, and then 3 is sapphic again. Okay, all of these were like 4 stars. They're very adorable. The star references are really cute. Why wasn't it a 5-star then? You're asking yourself, well, because some of it, especially Count Your Lucky Stars, I thought wasn't well written, as it just didn't hit the same. Some spicy scenes were just meh. I just didn't really feel anything reading them. And then some conflicts were dragged out a little bit or made very dramatized for what I thought the conflict should have been, which I get because it's a rom-com and we're in fiction and we can do whatever we want, but it was just still a little bit not as well done as I wanted it to be for it to be 5-star. But I believed in all the romances in all 3 books, and I adored all the couples, and I still really like the world building that went into it. Well, world building isn't really the right word. They're all contemporary romance in this world. But I don't know, I think it is really fun. Because the way they link up is just really fun. And I think even Hang the Moon, which I was kind of like, ooh, will I enjoy this? Because I hadn't read a straight rom-com in a while, and I was like, I don't know, because usually I read ones that read like fanfic, like some Ali Hazelwood I've read, and I tend to enjoy that. But this doesn't read as fanfic. This reads as an actual rom-com with, I don't know, like Ali Hazelwood's books I think are meant to be consumed in one day and to be done with. And I think this is trying to be more than that, so I was a little bit worried about how they were going to pull that off, because last time I read a rom-com, it was People We Made on Vacation by Ali Hazelwood. That is not an Ali Hazelwood book, I'm so sorry. People We Made on Vacation by Emily Henry. And I know this is going to come as a really big shock, and people are probably going to be rioting because of this, but I didn't like it. I did pick a beach read to read this summer because I do want to give her another shot, because a lot of people say she's an amazing author. So I think, well, maybe if I don't like one book, I maybe will like the other. But I ended up really enjoying Hang the Moon, and it honestly might be my 2nd favorite. It's funny because they go 1, 2, 3 for me. So Written in the Stars is definitely my favorite out of all of them. And then Hang the Moon, and then Count Your Lucky Stars. So I will now go into Written in the Stars first. So it's a charming rom-com about the free-spirited astrologer Elle, who agrees to fake a relationship with the uptight actuary Darcy, with results even the stars couldn't predict. But I could definitely predict it because it's a rom-com and you know they'll end up together. But but it's very cute. It's a very cute start to the trilogy, and it's probably my favorite, as I said earlier. And if you like adorable star references, grumpy sunshine vibes, fake dating, like me, yeah, then I would really recommend this. This was a 4-star for me, but it's probably on the higher end of a 4-star. Just not enough to get a 4.5, but it's up there. I really like Iris, and can I keep getting names wrong? Okay, anyway. Darcy and Elle are really cute together, and I really recommend them. They're really cute. Oh, I also didn't say, but Make Room for Love, I don't have that because it's also at a friend's house. Because I recommended it to a friend of mine who doesn't read a lot of rom-com. So, all of these are kind of entry levels, but I think the quote-unquote cringe and the quote-unquote like tooth-rotting fluff that is in the Bright Falls trilogy and also in this trilogy, I think you really gotta love rom-coms. Not per se to enjoy them, but to enjoy them to the fullest, I would say you would really you need to love a little bit. Not to say that my friend doesn't. That sounds weird. But I just think it's a better intro rom-com, basically. Alright. So, I like this. I love this. This is very cute. I am going to be rereading it because a friend of mine gifted me an annotated copy. So we definitely are gonna reread that, aren't we? Like, hello? I love annotated copies. I love getting annotations by my friends. I love it. The latter two, so Hang the Moon and Country Like Stars, were also annotated by the same friend. I don't know if you can see the little tabs here. They continued to annotate with pencil inside. But the first one I read before they annotated it for me, so I need to reread it with annotations. Now on to my last recommendations, and then we'll move on to honorary mentions, I guess. Books I'm looking forward to, books I really want to read. But the last one is a steamy queer rom-com about former best friends who might be each other's second chance at love. Margot has to reckon with her past and potential future when Olivia, her best friend, plans the wedding for her best friends. Her ex-best friend, by the way. They're not friends anymore when they meet. They were roommates. Yeah, that happens in this book. We can sense that I have a type in tropes. Roommates and fake dating, huh? Yeah. I will say this was my least favorite out of the three of them. The conflict was a bit too dragged out for me, and this is just purely preference, but there was just a bit too much spice that didn't feel emotionally connected. Some I really enjoyed the latter, like just the pure spice. I didn't really. I need my spice to be sprinkled in with emotion, and I thought because they're kind of exes, I would get that, but I didn't, and I was really, really sad about that. But I also got it. Like, I get why. In the book it makes sense, but I just still felt a little bit disappointed. So yeah, just a little warning if you go into it that you might not like it if you don't like that. Now we're going to talk about two books. One that I want to read very badly, that I do want to recommend, because I think it sounds so fun. Maybe I'll come back to this and you'll see me in a future bookish video and I'll be like, was not good, guys. I have high hopes. Although a mutual on Twitter didn't like it, but I'm honestly very easy to convince, especially with rom-coms, especially with sapphic rom-coms. So, okay, but it's outdrawn, and from what I know, it's a rivals to lovers about two artists that work on a webcomic together. And I haven't ordered this yet, but I'm dying to. But I've decided to try to read as much. I don't know if you can hear the wind outside, but it's very windy. But I'm sorry if you can. But I really want to read it, but I've been trying to cut back on buying books. Although I bought 3 graphic novels the other day. Those don't count. I'm gonna have to make them count though, because at some point it's enough is enough, sad. But No, I would just, I really want to buy it, but I've been waiting, and I'm gonna wait a little bit longer until like maybe I do my exam for school or something. Like, I'm gonna buy it for myself as a reward because I've been wanting to read it for a while, and it sounds so cute. So I'm really excited. They also are supposed to be a little bit grumpy sunshine, so I'm buckling my suit hole. Let's drive. Okay, and then an upcoming book I wanted to put on y'all's radar. Like an upcoming book I'm excited for. It releases in May, but it's by Ashley Herring Blake, and it's Dream On Ramona Riley. And so Ashley Herring Blake, as you've seen by this video, is one of my current favorite rom-com authors, or just authors in general. To be honest, I really think they write like just so well. Very good. I love their books. But it's no surprise that I'm looking forward to her upcoming release. And from what I've seen, it's a small-time romance with a dash of fame sprinkled in. And also, I'm just a sucker for books where the characters already like know each other. And apparently the characters knew each other in childhood and were each other's first kiss. Yeah, I was hooked. I was hooked. Yeah. Alright. Now, to finish off the video, I wanted to talk about some potential future videos that I could do. I've been thinking of reading vlogs, any current reads, my TBR for spring, because I made a specific TBR for spring. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. I might make the video anyway. Even if there's no interest in it, I don't mind. And lastly, I have some future sapphic videos that I could be making if there's interest in that. I have sapphic young adult novels, sapphic fantasy novels, and sapphic graphic novels. Especially the last category is so dear to me because it was probably one of the first sapphic books I ever read was a graphic novel, and I really still hold it close to my heart. I still really love it, and I really do recommend reading graphic novels, especially when you're in like a reading slump or you're traveling on train and it's a shorter journey. I just recommend graphic novels for that a lot. So, alright, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this because I just rambled on a lot. And I hope I didn't talk too fast because I know I have an issue with that when I get excited. But overall, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you grabbed a cup of tea and that you enjoyed the video. And yeah, see you very soon. Bye guys!